lot of cash. She was sitting in a bar. She was drinking beer. She was getting drunk. She started to talk. She started to talk too much. She talked about her cash. She talked about a lot of cash. She had thousands of dollars in her purse. She said she had $20,000 in her purse. She said it out loud. Everyone in the bar heard her. Everyone looked at her. She took some cash out of her purse. She held the money in the air. Look, she said, here's $1,000 cash. She waved it around. She laughed. She put the money back in her purse. She had another beer. A man was watching her. She finished her beer. She left the bar. He followed her. Trees in the jungle. It rains a lot in the jungle. The rain helps trees grow. The jungle has many trees. Trees are home for many jungle animals. Many animals live in the trees. Monkeys are jungle animals. Monkeys love trees. They love to swing from tree to tree. They climb down from the trees. They climb back up into the trees. They sit in the trees. They eat their food in the trees. They eat the plants in the trees. They eat the fruit in the trees. They live in the trees with the birds. They live in the trees with the lizards. They live in the trees with the snakes. They live in the trees with the ants. The trees in the jungle are full of animals. A bad babysitter. She was a babysitter in her home. She took care of 10 little children. They were not her little children. They were the sons and daughters of other people. She did not have a son. She did not have a daughter. She was not a mother. She was a babysitter. The children were 1 to 4 years old. She babysat them all. She kept them in her house all day. They all stayed in her living room. She gave them toys to play with. She gave them books to look at. She gave them pillows and blankets. Some kids played with the toys. Some kids looked at the books. Some kids slept. She usually didn't watch the kids. She usually watched the TV. Visit the park. Nancy took her daughter Donna to the park. The park had lots of trees. It had lots of squirrels and birds. The squirrels ran up and down the trees. The squirrels chased one another. The squirrels played with one another. The birds flew around. They flew down to the ground. They flew up into the trees. The squirrels and birds were good neighbors. Nancy sat down on a bench. She took a magazine out of her purse. She turned the pages of the magazine. Donna ran over to a squirrel. She tried to catch the squirrel. Then she tried to catch a bird. Donna chased the squirrels and birds. She never caught one squirrel. She never caught one bird. But she had a lot of fun.
No energy. Carol felt tired. She felt tired all the time. She didn't used to feel tired. She used to have a lot of energy. Why was she so tired all the time? You should eat more sugar, her friend told her. Sugar will give you energy. But Carol didn't want to eat more sugar. More sugar would give her more weight. She didn't want to put on weight. She wanted to have energy again. She finally decided to see a doctor. Her doctor told her that she had a thyroid problem. What is a thyroid? She asked her doctor. It can make you feel very tired. But don't worry, I can fix it, he told her. Losing weight. Kevin wanted to lose weight. He was getting fat. His stomach was getting bigger. He was gaining weight. He was gaining 1 pound every week. He had to buy new pants. He didn't fit into his old pants. He couldn't see his feet anymore. When he looked down, all he could see was his big fat belly. He wanted his belly to disappear. How could he do that? How could he lose weight? What could he do? He talked to his wife. She told him to stop eating candy. She told him to stop eating cake. She told him to walk up and down the big hill every day. Eggs and apples. Emma went to the market. She needed to buy food. She needed brown eggs. She opened a carton of brown eggs. She looked at the eggs. None of them were cracked. None of them were broken. All the eggs were okay. She closed the carton. She put the carton of eggs in her shopping cart. She needed red apples. She looked at a bag of red apples. She looked for dark spots on the apples. She looked for wormholes in the apples. She didn't see any dark spots or wormholes. She put the bag of apples in her shopping cart.
Your boat. Brenda sang a song. She sang the song while she walked to school. The name of the song was, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Brenda liked to sing this song. It was her favorite song to sing. She sang it every day while she walked to school. Sometimes she sang it with her best friend. Sometimes her best friend walked to school with Brenda. Then they both sang the song together. Brenda liked the song because it was easy to remember the words. Row, row, row your boat, are easy words to remember. Who is it? Joseph never opens the front door. When someone knocks on the front door, Joseph says, "Who is it?" But he does not open the door. His parents told him to keep the door closed. His parents want him to be safe. He will be safe if he doesn't open the door. Yesterday someone knocked on the front door. Who is it? Joseph asked. It's the mailman, the person said. I cannot open the door, Joseph said. Okay, I will come back tomorrow, the mailman said. Goodbye, Joseph said. Joseph is a good boy. He listens to his parents. He doesn't open the door for any person. Clean the apartment. Kenneth cleaned his apartment. He emptied the trash. He washed the dirty dishes. He looked in his bathroom. The sink and bathtub were dirty. He scrubbed the sink and bathtub. He looked in his bedroom. Clothes were on the floor. He picked up the clothes. He put the shirts on hangers. He folded the pants. He put the pants in the dresser. He washed the dirty clothes. He looked in his living room. Papers were on the floor. Books and newspapers and magazines were on the floor. He picked them all up. He put them on the bookshelves. Then he vacuumed his whole apartment. A storm. Laura looked out the window. A storm was coming. The sky was getting darker. The wind was starting to blow. Some trees were bending. Leaves were flying through the air. It was getting cold. She closed all the windows. She went outside. Her car was in the street. She closed the windows in her car. She locked her car. She went back into her house. She turned on the TV. She wanted to see the news about the storm. The TV person said it was a big storm. He said it would rain a lot. He told people to stay home.
Melted cheese. Stephen was hungry. What could he eat? He looked in the refrigerator. He saw some orange cheese. He saw some yellow butter. He knew what he would eat. He would eat a melted cheese sandwich. He took the cheese and butter out of the refrigerator. He buttered 2 slices of bread. He sliced the cheese and put it between the 2 buttered slices. He heated the frying pan. He put the cheese sandwich into the frying pan. After 3 minutes, he flipped the sandwich over. After 3 more minutes, he put the melted cheese sandwich on a plate. A simple salad. George is going to make a salad. He is going to make a simple salad. It will be a simple salad, but it will also be delicious. His salad will have only 2 ingredients. 1 ingredient is fresh cucumber. A cucumber is dark green and long. George will peel the skin off the cucumber. He will throw the skin in the trash. He won't eat the skin. He will slice the cucumber into little pieces. Each piece will be about the size of a nickel. He will put all the pieces into a big bowl. Then he will pour salad dressing on the pieces in the big bowl. That's it, a cucumber, and salad dressing. Add numbers. Maria was learning to add numbers. She liked to add numbers. It was easy to add numbers. She could add 1 and 1. She knew that 1 and 1 are 2. She knew that 2 and 2 are 4. She knew that 3 and 3 are 6. But that was it. She didn't know what 4 and 4 are. She asked her mom. Her mom told her that 4 and 4 are 8. Oh, now I know, Maria said. I am 4 years old now. In 4 more years, I will be 8. Maria was a fast learner. She wasn't a slow learner. How rude. Helen is unhappy with her mother. Her mother is unhappy with Helen. They are both unhappy with each other. Helen has a boyfriend. His name is Peter. Her mother doesn't like Peter. Her mother said that Peter is rude. Why did she say that? Because Peter didn't take his hat off in the house. Helen's mother says that is rude. A man should take his hat off in the house. Your father always took his hat off in the house, Helen's mother said. But, Mom, times are different now, Helen said. I promise you, Peter will take his hat off next time. Helen's mother said it was too late. Rude is rude.
No job. Kimberly was not happy. She was sad. She needed a job. She asked everyone for a job. Everyone told her no. No one had a job for her. She came home every day and cried. How could she live without a job? She had only $1,000. After she spent the $1,000, she would have no money. Then what would she do? She had nowhere to go. She had no friends. She had no family. She was all alone. She was very worried. She looked in the newspaper every day. She was ready to take any job. If someone gave her a job, she would be so happy. Poor dog. Jason looked at his watch. It was time for his favorite TV show. He turned on the TV. He sat down in his chair. But then he heard his dog. His dog was scratching at the door. Oh, no, Jason thought. The dog wanted to go out. The dog had to go to the bathroom. If he lived in a house, he could let the dog go out the door and into the yard. But he lived in an apartment. He didn't have a yard. He had to take the dog for a walk. But if he took the dog for a walk, he would miss his favorite TV show. The dog scratched at the door again. Jason turned off the TV. Cancer. Paula has cancer. She has 6 months to live. Her doctors cannot help her. No one can help her. She smoked cigarettes for 30 years. She did not want to stop smoking cigarettes. She liked to smoke cigarettes. The doctors told her to stop smoking many years ago. She didn't listen to them. She didn't listen to her parents. She didn't listen to her children. She didn't listen to her friends. Everyone told her to stop smoking. She told everyone to stop worrying about her. She would be fine, she told them. She still smokes every day. Why not, she asks. Work, work. It was time for bed. Edward was very tired. He turned off the TV. He turned off his computer. He turned off the dining room light. He went into the bathroom. He brushed his teeth. He went into the bedroom. He put on his pajamas. He got into bed. He put his head on the pillow. He pulled the blanket up to his shoulders. He thought about all the work he had done that day. He thought about all the work he had to do the next day. He closed his eyes. He thought about his vacation in 3 months. That would be so nice.
A check. Sandra wrote a check to her gas company. On one line she wrote, May 17, 2009. On the next line she wrote, the gas company. On another line she wrote, $35.66. On another line she wrote, 35 and 66/100ths. On another line she wrote, monthly gas bill. On another line she signed her name. Then she put the check into an envelope. She also put the gas bill into the envelope. She licked the envelope and sealed it. She put her return address on the front of the envelope. She put a 44-cent stamp on the front of the envelope. She put the envelope in the mailbox. Questions. When does Ronald eat breakfast? He eats breakfast in the morning. What does he eat for breakfast? He eats ham and eggs. What does he drink for breakfast? He drinks coffee. Where does he eat breakfast? He eats breakfast at home. Who makes breakfast for Ronald? His wife makes breakfast for him. Why does Ronald eat breakfast? Because food gives him energy. What does he do after he eats breakfast? He brushes his teeth. What does he do after he brushes his teeth? He goes to work. Which bus does he take to work? He takes the city bus to work. Money in the bank. Randy went to the bank. He needed money from the bank. The bank has all of Randy's money. The bank keeps Randy's money safe. Randy cannot keep his money at home. Someone might steal his money. He can't hide his money in his backyard. A dog might find his money and eat it. He can't hide his money in a tree. A bird might fly away with his money. Some people hide their money under their bed. Some people hide their money in their refrigerator. But that is not safe. Someone will look under the bed or in the refrigerator. The best place for people to keep money is in the bank. News every day. Jackie loves the news. She listens to the news on the radio. She watches the news on TV. She reads the news in the newspaper. She reads the news in magazines. She loves the news because it is always new. It is always fresh. It is always interesting. There is news every day. There is news in every country. There is news in every state. There is news in every city. Everyone all over the world talks about the news every day. But Jackie has a question about the news. Why is the news usually bad? Why isn't the news usually good? No one knows the answer. Flu. Larry has the flu. His nose is running. He coughs a lot. He sneezes a lot. When he coughs, he covers his mouth. When he sneezes, he covers his mouth. When his nose is running, he wipes his nose with a tissue. Larry's mother is taking care of him. She makes hot soup for him. She gives him fresh orange juice. She makes him comfortable in his bed. She turns on the TV so he can watch TV in his bed. She turns out the light so he can sleep in his bed. She gives him medicine so he will get better. Larry will get better soon. Patty's doll. Patty got a doll for Christmas. It is her favorite doll. It is a rag doll. It has a yellow dress. It has a blue blouse. The name of the doll is Molly. Molly has bright red hair. She has red lips. She has blue eyes. She has a pink ribbon in her hair. Molly is wearing red shoes. She's wearing white socks. Molly has a purse. Her purse is pink. The purse is empty. There is nothing in the purse. There was a little mirror in the purse. But Patty lost the mirror. When she lost the mirror, she said, "I'm sorry, Molly. I will get you another mirror." The shoes shine. Danny looked at his brown shoes. They looked old and dirty. They needed a shine. It was time to shine his brown shoes. He got a rag. He got a shoe brush. He got a can of polish. He opened the can of polish. He put the rag around his finger. He scooped out a bit of polish with his finger. He rubbed the polish all over the left shoe. He brushed the left shoe. He brushed it and brushed it. The shoe began to shine. It looked like a new shoe. Then Danny put polish on the right shoe. He brushed the right shoe until it looked like a new shoe. Dear God. Peggy went to church every Sunday. She loved to go to church. At church she was with her family and friends. At church she was with the saints. She was with the angels. And most of all, Peggy was with God. She always talked to God in church. She always asked God to stop war. She asked God to stop hate. She asked God to stop sickness. But war and hate and sickness did not stop. There were war and hate and sickness every day. Mommy, why doesn't God stop war and hate and sickness? Peggy asked. God will, her mom said, when more people ask.
Wants to die. Frank is not an old man. He is only 61 years old. But he is dying. He is in the home for old people. Nobody visits him. His wife doesn't visit him. She is already dead. She died 6 months ago. She died in the street. She was crossing the street. A car ran over her. Frank loves his wife. He got sick after she died. He never got better. The doctor says that nothing is wrong with Frank's body. The doctor says that Frank wants to die. The doctor is right. Frank does not want to live without his wife. 2 aspirin. Lois has a headache. The headache started 1 hour ago. She doesn't know why she has a headache. She never gets headaches. She never gets sick. Lois is a healthy woman. Where did her headache come from? Was it something she ate? Was it something she drank? She doesn't know. She wants her headache to go away. She does not like to take medicine. But her head hurts so much. She went into her bathroom. She opened the medicine cabinet. She found some aspirin. She took 2 aspirin with a glass of water. Maybe the aspirin will help her headache go away. No more apartment. Jerry has no job anymore. He has a little money. But he does not have enough money for rent. He cannot pay his rent. He has to move out of his apartment. He will move out next week. He will move into his car. He will put all his clothes into his car. He will put his pillows and blankets into his car. He will sleep in his car. He will look for another job. After next week, he will not be able to take a shower. He will have to use a public bathroom. He won't be able to drive his car. He won't have money for gas. Jerry needs help. Use soap. Kathy finished her sandwich. She had a chicken sandwich for lunch. She got up from her chair. She took her plate to the kitchen sink. She put the plate in the sink. She turned on the cold water faucet. She rinsed the plate. She picked up a paper towel. She wiped the plate dry. She put the plate on the counter. Her mother walked into the room. "Did you wash that plate with soap?" she asked Kathy. Kathy said no. "I couldn't find the soap," she said. Her mom said, "What's this right next to the cold water faucet?" Kathy said, "Soap." Her mom told her to wash the plate again. Fight. Sharon was 5 years old. Her best friend was Pam. They played games together. They played all kinds of games. They had fun together. But one day Pam pushed Sharon. "Why did you push me?" Sharon asked. "Because," Pam said. Sharon told Pam not to push her again. So, Pam pushed Sharon again. Sharon pushed Pam back. Then Pam pulled Sharon's hair. Then Sharon pulled Pam's hair. Both of them started crying. Sharon's mom came into the room. She told Pam to go home. Pam ran out of the house. "Sharon, you can't play with Pam anymore," Sharon's mother said. "Scrub the floor." Andrew got down on his hands and knees. He put a dry sponge into the bucket. The bucket was full of soapy water. He squeezed the sponge. He scrubbed the kitchen floor. There were marks on the floor. There were spots on the floor. There was old food on the floor. He scrubbed the floor clean. Then he took the bucket into the bathroom. He poured the soapy water into the tub. The water went down the drain. He turned on the shower. He rinsed the tub. He turned the bucket over so it would dry. He washed his hands. Sally's cold. Sally had a cold. Her nose was red. She pulled a tissue out of the tissue box. She blew her nose. She threw the tissue into the trash. She looked at her fingernails. Her fingernails were too long. She needed to cut her nails. She opened her purse. She took her nail clippers out of the purse. She clipped all the nails on her left hand. Then she clipped all the nails on her right hand. She looked at both of her hands. Now her nails were nice and short. She put her nail clipper back in her purse. She pulled another tissue out of the box. She blew her nose again. Apple for the teacher. Andrew was in the 3rd grade. He loved his teacher. His teacher was young. She was pretty. She was friendly. She helped Andrew add numbers. She helped Andrew draw dogs and cats. She helped Andrew learn to spell. Andrew gave his teacher an apple one day. He gave her an orange another day. He gave her a peach another day. His teacher thanked him. "Thank you for the apple," she said the first day. "Thank you for the orange," she said the second day. "Thank you for the peach," she said the third day. Each day Andrew said, "You're very welcome."